Hi, it's Paula from Paula Quilting. Welcome back to my channel. Hello everyone. Today I will show you how I'm making a lazy log cabins. It was one of those days when I really didn't want to leave the machine to kind of iron. This is not my favorite thing to do. So I decided to check if I can make a log cabin block without using iron until the block is finished. So first of all, I'm going to be using here some scraps from my very tiny scrap bucket. Some time ago I purchased this bag at my quilters meeting with tiny scraps, and they were all bagged up into those small squares or rectangles. I have used some of them in my previous projects. You may have a look at this one. But you know, I still got plenty left, and I thought they kind of lend themselves nicely into making a log cabin as a kind of centers for those, and kind of first part of it maybe. So a lot of them look like squares, but they not necessarily are the same size, and I really didn't want to spend time kind of trimming them to the same size. There was no need for it. As far as it was a square or a nice rectangle, you know, with the size towards the square, I was happy to pick those. So I had a pile put aside for this. Then I kind of decided on the colors of my log cabins to use white, off-white-ish colors, and then anything with blue. So to start from, I actually picked up some of the scraps from my bucket for crumbs. There were at least few which were a bit bigger, and I started cutting from there because at least some of it could be used in those first few steps of the log cabin. And then I also had some scraps of the white and off-white, so I cut this as well. I'm using two different widths of the fabric. So for the white, I cut my strips to 1 1/4, for the color 1 1/2. I decided on two different sizes so I can then make you know, if I want to make them in the shape of the circles, then I can. That's how you kind of make them a little bit rounded in look later when you're using two different sizes of the strips. So that's how I went ahead and cut all of my scraps. I recently went to the scrap store. I had a nice batch of blue fabric, so I thought I will use those in that project. And so everything was cut. I cut the width of the fabric, but I didn't cut kind of lengths because again my center were not exactly the same, so I couldn't measure there. And I also want to use that, you know, chain piecing as much as I can and not spend too much time on prepping. So I will show you in a bit in a detail how I was trimming those pieces as I was going to make sure everything aligned. So here you can see me chain piecing all of those first pieces. I keep that rule that what I have added is always going to the top, just so I can remember what I kind of need to add next. I've started with adding first blue color, then two whites, and then blue again, and that kind of closed off that loop. And then I've repeated the pieces, adding the pieces as much as I needed to make it into the size I wanted. I've ended up adding 3 kind of logs on each side, so 3 white, 3 blue, on times 2, obviously on both sides of the square. before we carry on with the project, let's just round up where you can find me and how you can support my work. First of all, please subscribe to my channel and watch videos as I'm posting them without skipping the adverts, please. Please comment against the videos because that helps to push them out to wider audience, and don't forget to share with your quilting friends. Join my network either on Facebook or Instagram. All the links how and where are in the description below. Where you see my posts either on Facebook or Instagram, please like, share and comment on them. If you like to add something extra, I've got now membership available through the YouTube. You can also use a super thanks on YouTube or buy me a virtual tea, coffee or lunch using a form on my website. You can also support me by subscribing to my newsletter via my website. That will help me to notify you when I publish new videos or blog posts, or maybe there are some items available to purchase on my website. However you decide to support this channel, thank you very much for being here, and I hope you enjoy the content. So here a little bit of close-up how I was trimming my pieces along the way without taking them to the iron, and kind of what I was using at each stage. So stage 1, I've got my center and my blue fabric. Here I was just going with the scissors, trying to align that edge here on both sides as much as I could, and that's what I was having after first step. Then in the second step I was adding a white fabric. So how I was aligning my fabrics under machine is when they were facing wrong side up, the piece I've added is always at the top. So this is my center piece, this is my blue fabric, so like that. And then I was adding the white fabric as a first next color. So here we go, this is what it looks like. And with here, again, if you are adventurous, you can just use scissors to align those that here, and then obviously it's a kind of, you're trying going for the 90-degree angle here, nice and square. But there's another method I was using for the bigger pieces, and you can start using it from that point as well, but I will show you in a minute what I mean. So here we go, that's the step 2, white fabric added. So as I was saying, we're keeping the piece which I've just added at the top, and then I was going with the next white. So this is how it looks. So if I now added that white here, this is what it will look like, the white fabric added here. Now in here, 2 options again, you can go with scissors, or you can now starting using your ruler and the rotary cutter. Now if you go with the scissors, I no longer was aligning here with kind of how I'm cutting. The only thing I was focusing was on my seam, and I want to go 90 degrees down. It's because I have not ironed this piece here, this can kind of be a little bit wonky, so I wasn't using the sides of here as my line. I'm just going 90 degrees from the top edge here on both sides. So this is how it looks after this step. Again, the piece which I've added goes at the top. Now I'm going with my second blue. So that's the next sewing on. My blue is here on the side. So here I definitely started using my rotary cutter. So what you want is a small ruler, and you want to align the ruler, the corner of your ruler needs to be with the corner where that those 2 fabrics are meeting up here, and then you want to align the top edge here. So I'm not worried what's happening here, I'm not worried what's happening further down the line. I just want to align about, I don't know, at least 2 inches here, and then I'm cutting. And I will do the same thing at the other side. It's easier now to go from the bottom, so I'm aligning the bottom edge, and my corner here, it kind of goes to the corner where that white fabric is finishing. Here you go. You can see that blue fabric may be sticking out there. That's fine. Again, because this piece is not ironed yet, it may be a little bit wonky, so I'm not worried about it. I'm not thinking about that piece. I just want to have a nice 90 degrees angles here in both corners. So this is how it looks. So if I now start sewing again, I'll be adding the blue fabric. It's easy now after that first kind of full circle, because now I know what side I'm adding. So blue side will come in here. So this is this stage. And I will do exactly the same thing as in the step before. I'm not worried how that fabric looks here. It will be, as you can see, looking wonky here, but it isn't. It's just because it's not iron, it's not lying now flat, so it's looks like it's very wonky, but actually it isn't. But where I'm cutting, I want to just align the top edge and just that corner with my fabric, the white fabric in this step. And then just turn around, and now I'm just aligning the bottom edge and that blue fabric there. I'm not sure you can see it very well in the camera, but the fabric which I can see under the ruler, it's not straight here. But again, this is what I was saying, because it's not ironed, it looks like it's wonky, but actually it isn't. Once you flatten it out, it's nice and straight. So next step, so this is what it looks like. My latest piece is at the top. I'm adding now white to the side. So that's this. And I will do exactly the same thing. And I was batch sewing it. So I wasn't kind of cutting one at a time. That's gonna be quite, you know, time consuming. I was just going through the whole batch, and then once I had that batch done, I would trim all that batch in one go, and then go and kind of sew chain piece again. Here we go. So again, next piece, it would have been white added here to the side, because the last white was here at the top. And I would carry on, carry on, carry on. And let me just show you those blocks. So this is before I've ironed it. So I'm still missing one blue here. So I've got 1, 2, 3 white, 1, 2, 3 white, 1, 2, 3 blue. I'm missing one blue here. So I just grab one which is finished. Here we go. And once this is one of those I've ironed. I even haven't used a starch here, which I like to use in the last ironing for the blocks. I will be squaring it up, because this size actually came out perfectly, slightly over 6.5 inch, which means I can now square it up to 6.5 and use it in any of my magic number designs if I wish to. So if you've perhaps bought my book Magic Numbers, then in any of the blocks where we have 6.5 inch piece, you could now put this instead of any plain block and just play with that. I don't know yet how I will use those blocks. I just wanted to make some because, you know, I just felt like there was no design for the strict purpose of this block for, but I just wanted to use up some of my blue scraps because I had a lot. So I won't be squaring them up yet, because again, I don't know how I'll be using it, but most likely I will use it in one of those 6.5 inch combination, kind of going with the magic numbers. And so it's kind of, it came out really perfectly, slightly above 6.5. So now a little bit of starch, iron them now nice and flat, kind of eyeball it, center that ruler here, and as you can see, I'm trimming maybe a quarter of the inch, a little bit more than quarter of the inch around the edges. So now, because I've used my white fabric is a little bit thinner than the color fabric, now I can use those blocks to kind of make different shapes. I can use them to make that a little bit rounded shape, or I can use them any other way you would use the log cabin block. So quite, you know, there's enough options of those on its own to make something fun with it. So this is how I'm making my lazy log cabins. I hope you will find it useful. This is one of those blocks I like to make when, you know, I just want to sew something, not necessarily for any specific reason. I just want to make a batch of blocks, and I've got scraps in some sort of color family, but they would also look great mixed. As we know, log cabin block is very versatile, so either way will look fine. Now what I don't like in my process is spending time at the ironing board, so I'm very happy it worked out. There's a little bit of prep to cut the strips, but other than that you don't need to cut anything to size. You just chain piece all of it in one go and just trim in between. And like I said, don't cut one at a time, because that will be a little bit daunting as well. Just make a batch, maybe 10 at a time is a good batch. Depends on your scraps, on the volume of your scraps, what you can do with it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial for the lazy log cabin. I will eventually show you what I made out of them, so in some point of time there will be a little bit of show and tell about them. And if you try that method yourself, please leave a comment here, or perhaps link up with other like-minded quilters on my Facebook group page. All the links are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching me today, and see you next time.